Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for September 27th through the 29th. Things are looking pretty good this weekend, which is pretty good considering that if we're going to look at satellite and some radar right now, and we can see Helena is moving, looks like right up in our direction, but is not going to affect our weather. It's going to move to our south and west as it kind of wraps around. And we're going to see some clouds, but no real rain. The rain yesterday has gotten out of here, and it looks like we're going to be dry with some sun and some clouds the next 3 days. As we look at what's happening with Helena, we'll take some closer looks at radar and things here. You can see the hurricane sort of being absorbed into this bigger upper level low, but it does look like, wow, the hurricane's still screaming to the north. But if you look at the northern fringe of the clouds, you can see the clouds at the northern fringe are actually kind of being eaten away, and this boundary to the north is kind of settling south, and it is going to put the brakes on Helena, and instead of going north, it's going to wrap back around, and unfortunately for a lot of areas in kind of Tennessee, Kentucky, up into Ohio, going to be kind of stall out there and drop a lot of rain, but it's going to keep the precipitation away from us. So we dodged the bullet this time. We'll have to see. Definitely looks like it came on shore in a relatively unpopulated part of the coast of Florida, which is good. It did strengthen rapidly yesterday, as was forecast. Thankfully, it looks like it didn't hit the worst spots it could have hit, but definitely going to be some significant damage. Going to be a lot of tree damage inland as well, and certainly some flooding eventually as well. This is not a great situation, but that is the tropics this time of year. Tropics have gotten a little more active. Certainly, the pattern has gotten a little bit better from a wind shear perspective and things like that. That things have gotten a little bit more active. It's actually ended up being less active than I would have initially anticipated. Tropical season, but still plenty of tropical season left. October can be a pretty busy month, and it looks like it probably will be. So we'll have to keep an eye on that certainly as we go through. But for us, at least, Helena will not cause problems. And our next system isn't even really on the map. Eventually, we will get a front that moves through, but not till the middle of next week. So we'll be basically dry till then. Let's take a look at radar. Again, obviously, here's the rain from yesterday. It was good to see the rain. We've needed the rain, so we actually, especially yesterday, did a little bit better in terms of rain than I thought we were going to do initially, as we got upwards of a third to half an inch in some spots, which was good. Enough to kind of definitely help out a little bit. It's still pretty dry out there over on the long-term average, but for the last month at least, but a little bit of water was not a bad thing. And again, you can kind of see the northern fringe of this not moving. You can see that cold front too. That's that boundary layer. This high pressure is strong in such a way that it is not going to allow the hurricane and the associated upper level system to make its way to the north here. If we take a closer look, you can see it is definitely raining buckets, but you can see here's that front, and you can see it's pushed offshore, and we have a lot of dry air. Some of the high clouds from this will potentially make their way up in our area. So otherwise, we'd be quite sunny this weekend, but I definitely think there's a chance that we at least see the high clouds. I don't think we'll see any precipitation at all, but clouds mixing in. So a milky look to the skies. Certainly this morning there's a lot of fog, but after that burns off, milky look to the skies and a mix of sun and clouds basically over the next couple of days is basically the trend for the weekend. Temperatures will be kind of pleasant. This is a pretty nice weekend overall, though. Let's take a look at why that's happening on the upper level. This is vorticity, which I show quite often, but also you can see the winds you can see the wind barbs, and you can kind of see that as the upper level, we've got southerly winds right now that are kind of pushing the hurricane north. But you can see that this upper level flow, and then this, particularly this ridge that's building in, comes with northerly wind, which is kind of putting the brakes on, and it's going to go to the path of least resistance, which is actually to curve back around to the west, and eventually basically get all absorbed into this upper level low and basically spin itself out, which will take a couple of days. The winds will spin themselves out mostly today. It'll be breezy, but after today, it won't be too bad wind-wise, although there will be a lot of wind for a lot of places before that happens. And then the rain, it'll take about another day before that really starts to kind of devolve into just showers and things like that. But a day of some pretty heavy rain over the next couple of days in this area as well. But we escaped that with this kind of strong northerly push that's kind of keeping the hurricane down to our south. What does that mean in terms of actual forecast? Basically, it means a very kind of rinse and repeat kind of forecast for the weekend, right? Low 70s basically all weekend, a degree or two warmer. I think it'll be a little bit warmer tomorrow than it is today, but very close. And overnight we fall back down into the low 50s basically. Overnight we'll clear out without the heating of the day. There could still be some high clouds overnight, but basically clearing overnight and a decent amount of sun, but also some clouds around, and especially high clouds, but even some just fair weather clouds around for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. But basically a good day to get out there and enjoy. The foliage is pretty good, so get out there and enjoy that too if you can. Let's take a quick look at those weekend highlights. A generally good weather weekend. With Helena staying well to our south. Some clouds from Helena will make their way towards us, but they will be scattered. Temperatures will be seasonable. Foliage not quite at peak yet, but we're getting close. Certainly at the higher elevations, quite close. So if you're around, you get a chance to just get out and enjoy that. Do try to do that. I would say the next 2 weeks beyond this, we're kind of at the beginning of the peak period. The next 2 weeks after this will probably be the best. Hopefully we don't get any strong winds. It kind of helps things stay. We'll have to see how bright the colors get with how dry we were, but a little bit of rain yesterday maybe helps. They're always brighter than you think they're going to be. They get when they just kind of go brilliant. So looks like pretty good. Much of next week looks quiet weather-wise. There's a front that's going to move through probably middle of the week that will bring some showers, but basically it looks pretty quiet next week weather-wise. So that'll be a good thing, and then we'll have to see from there, obviously. So that's what's happening. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons to help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I would encourage you to do so, and I'll be back on Monday with a look at your week or work week forecast.